brings it, don't say you could not even wrap it. Don't be angry. Just collect it and say, oh my God, you shouldn't have. Oh. And you even took the stress off me. I don't have to even untie the wrappings. Thank you, baby. Yeah, you take it. Next year, you say that bag you bought for me last year, I want matching shoes wrapped. Do you understand? You have to educate. That's how you do it. Because men don't read minds, they read newspapers. Was if we now do make it into the marriage, divorce was not an option. So we only had up till the day we were getting married to decide whether we're going to walk away or not. That when we now get into the marriage, there was no way out. That's how we saw it. And that's because even in counseling, I still share with couples. When we counsel couples, we ask them a simple question when they come in with all their issues. We say, if you are in a room like this room and there are no windows and there are no doors and a fire breaks out here, what will you do? If you think about it, the first thing you do is try to put out the fire because there's no way of escape. But if that same fire breaks out and there are windows and there are doors, there will be a stampede because you won't think of trying to put out the fire. You're just going to think of how to get out and how to get out first. And you don't care who you trample on to get out. So for us, we decided and we made up our minds that in our marriage, we're going to take out all windows and all doors. So whatever the issue is, we are going to try to fix it. So not only is divorce not an option, mentioning divorce is not an option. Threatening each other with divorce is not an option. In fact, divorce is a taboo word in our marriage. We don't joke with it. We don't play around it. We don't even, it's not even a thought. So no matter what we're going through, we have to find a way around it. And the truth is that our marriage has had many challenges. There were times when we couldn't even afford to eat. But we knew that divorce was not an option. We were going to have to find a way. And I didn't start blaming him and thinking, oh, look at you, your mates are providing for. No. Because he's not my source. God is my source. And I'm not invalid. If he doesn't bring money, what's wrong with me? Why can't I bring money? So we had to, we always understood that there's no way out of this. So whenever there's a challenge, we have to fix it. When we got married, we didn't have our children on time. He didn't now, even though it was my fault because of my health. So before we got married, I already knew I was not going to be able to have children. Doctors had told me, and not one doctor, not two, not three. So this was something that I already knew. But when he proposed, I told him, and he made up his mind that he was in love and was ready to go the journey with me. And when we got into the marriage, first 8 years, it didn't happen. He didn't say, oh, I'm out. And at some point, I was even feeling bad for him because wasting your time, we've been here for 8 years. By now, your first child should be planning to finish primary school, But he didn't, because we understood that once you've gotten into it, this is our decision for life. So that was one agreement we had, and no matter the challenge, we were going to face it together, and divorce was not an option.
Yeah. And if you are dating someone now and they're always threatening you with a breakup, that person will continue to threaten you with a divorce. Again, this is why the first agreement is important. You must come from a healthy point of view. Once you act like the person is doing you a favor, one person is already underhanded in the relationship. So you're already dating now in a courtship now, and the person is always saying, I'll break up with you, or they break up with you every 2 weeks. That's not normal. Because that's the some people don't know that their normal is not normal. You say, oh, it's normal, it happens in every marriage. No, it doesn't. It happens in every relationship. No, it doesn't. It's not usual for two people that are supposed to be in love and supposed to be committed to each other to be threatening each other with leaving. So I'm going to leave this marriage. So that's not normal. So it's very important that you note it. If you're dating and it happened, or you are married and it happening, if you're married and it's happening, you need to stop from today. Stop telling your partner you will leave. Because one day, you either leave or they will leave. Or they will stop you from leaving. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. They will stop you from leaving, Living. So, so you need to understand what I'm saying. All right? Third thing we agreed about was that we would always have a joint account or joint accountability. Since we got married, we've never had a separate account. So I don't understand why a couple will be married and still be living like they're single. That's what many couples are doing. They are married, but they're still living like two separate people. All they are sharing is a bed. Oh, that didn't sink. Let me look at this other side. I say all they are sharing is a bed. They are not sharing their plans. They are not sharing their thoughts. They are not sharing their money. All they are sharing is the bed. That's not the idea of marriage. The Bible said two shall become one. It doesn't make sense if two is remaining as two. God designed it that you will have joint account. When I say joint accountability, what that means is that in case you have a work account or something that you can have two people on, everything going on in that account is transparent and open for your partner to see, and is a part of it. And whoever is earning more is not superior to the person earning less. Doesn't mean you make more decisions now because you earn more. Doesn't mean you're a higher member of the, or citizen of the family. Is somebody getting this? This is the design. And I understand in contemporary marriages they don't like that. Yes. They say, no, let's separate all our money. We are two people. In case you run away, I don't trust my husband, I don't trust my wife. The real issue is not the money. The issue is, why would you marry someone you don't trust? That's the real discussion. And it shows your value system has problems. Because you are very comfortable with giving your life to someone, but keeping your money safe. It means you don't know what has value and what doesn't have value. It's your life that should be in the safe. Your money, you can get your money back. But you are keeping your money in the safe and putting your life at risk. You are giving your life to someone that you can't give your money to. It shows something is wrong with your value system. You are dealing with financial trauma. Because people that are really hungry and suffering, they value money more than life. Because the first person that can kill you, the easiest person to kill you is who you are married to. One drop of something in your tea, in your coffee, in your food, they can press you with pillow at night. You're already at risk. One of my favorite things I watch on TV is American Crime Channel. The real ones, not the acted ones, the real crimes that they investigate. I've watched that thing so much. Right now, I feel like LAPD. I feel I'm a detective with with Houston police. Because I've watched it so much, I know all the questions to ask. I know how to investigate it. If somebody dies around, you call me. Before you call police, I can investigate it. I know the job so much. Once a married person dies, the number one suspect is their spouse. And those guys, those policemen, the detective will just come. He will have his badge here. They don't wear uniform, you know now. We don't wear uniform. Our badge will be one of these things, our pocket here. We will just come and say, hi, this is Special Detective Kingsley. We're so sorry about the death of your partner. So why are you still crying? I say, we're so sorry about what happened. When I say, where were you by 3 p.m. today? Because you are the number one suspect. We're still crying, you know. But where were you by 3 p.m.? You say, I was in the office. Say, is there someone that can verify that? While you are talking, they've called their office. They're checking CCTV to be sure whether you were there by 3 p.m. So they know that the number one suspect is your spouse. And many times that spouse is involved. To show how warped your value system is, not even just money. You can trust your children with this person. But your money isn't safe. That means you still value money more than human life. Something is very wrong with you. You need therapy. So we always agreed that money will never be an issue. Marry somebody you trust. I still jokingly tell my wife, and it's purely joke, can never happen. I say, even if forever, you decide to leave ourselves, I say, I'll still trust you with the money. Please, you'll be distributing the money for all of us, me and the children, because you're still way a better manager. Is somebody get what I'm saying? You should be that comfortable. We've always had a joint account from day one, and it has helped, because one of the things that separates a couple is money. Once your money is separate, your thoughts will be separate, your plans will be separate. If your money is together, you can't plan apart. There are sometimes as a pastor, I'm talking to the husband, I say, will you be around for midweek service? He said, no, sir, I'm traveling on Tuesday. Midweek service is Wednesday, I'm going to travel on Tuesday. I said, okay, no problem. When you come back, let me know. I will now tell the wife that, will you be around or you two are traveling? She will say, traveling, she said, we're not traveling. I said, your husband is traveling on Tuesday. She says, no, he's not. I say, he is. The wife doesn't know that he's traveling because he has Accounts he can control by himself. If they are doing joint accounts, there's no way you can't make plans outside of your partner. Putting your money together forces you to talk, forces you to plan. And when one of you want to make a stupid decision, the other one is a sense of reasoning. Many of you don't know your money personality. When you are single, you don't know whether you are good with money or not. Marry first. And you have to defend every project. Then you will know whether you are good. And whether what you want to buy makes sense. I need to buy this shoe. Why? It's on sale. When you start having to defend your decisions, you will now know that a lot of the decisions you are making doesn't make sense. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? So joint accountability helps your management, helps your faith. There's an exercise we do with couples sometimes. I was telling Pastor about that. We're going to do it. Maybe sometime we'll come again. There are financial exercises every couple should do. One of it is goal setting. On that one is that we interview couples. We give them a piece of paper and say, look, if you receive £1 million or £500 or £100,000, what are you going to do with it? And we tell the man to write, tell the woman to write, and we now ask them each other. In fact, some of them, they don't talk. Some don't know what the husband is going to do if he has £100,000. They don't know what the wife is going to do if he has. So they don't talk. They don't plan. You must have clear agreements financially. And running your money together is definitely one of the strongest things you can do as a couple. Because every decision somehow tallies back to money.
Please be sure you're marrying someone you can trust when it comes to money. It's very important. And also understand your money personalities, because me, I saw Shege.
Yes, sir. We've shared the story.
Let me just say my own.
Yes, sir.
But I thank God, because if we didn't have joint accounts, I wouldn't know how bad he was with money. Mm-hmm. I would always assume he had money. And I think sometimes that's the problem in some marriages, where the man thinks the woman is always asking for money because she doesn't know what you have. She thinks you have. You are not telling her. If she sees clearly that you don't have, what's she going to ask for?
Yes. Do you
something
think it's a joke that
there?
Jesus gave Judas the money to handle? Limit your stealing.
Yes.
It's with you. It's like steal everything.
So it's important that you guys understand and talk about your money personalities. I think that's what joint account does for you. You have to talk.
And plan.
You just have to talk. Which takes me to our next agreement.
Before you do that, please, if you know you have married a troublesome person already, you can be careful now.
Yes.
We understand that we're not oblivious to the fact that some of you have already entered with the wrong kind of person. So the person is reckless and putting the family at risk. So I get that. So in those kind of cases, you might need to get the wisdom of God. She did some things when I was financially reckless that now saved us. So you need to get the wisdom of God also how to navigate. You know that the person you married, before the money come, they have gone to bet to finish the money. In those kind of cases, you might need to rescue the family, okay?
Or buy unnecessary things.
Yes, so
because betting might not be the issue.
Yes, I'm just using betting as a
unnecessary things.
They are not unnecessary.
Like things that's very unnecessary that they will be defending.
Is snooker board unnecessary?
They will defend it.
Pastor, explain snooker. Is it unnecessary?
So snooker
like
board.
The dog I bought.
Wait. Snooker
I
board.
bought 2 dogs on our wedding day. Is that unnecessary? 2 dogs. Dog lovers know what I'm talking about. I didn't want to buy one because the other one will be lonely. So I had to buy 2. I was a financial wreck. Trust me, we'll share the story on that day.
Let's not go into that today. Yeah. But thank God, because if not, I would think we have money we didn't have. So it's good that we had a joint account so I could see and track the spending and correct what I needed to correct. Okay, so our next agreement was based off of communication. Okay, I'll give you a background before I tell you what the agreement was. So this agreement came in the first few months of our marriage. So when we got married, I had this before I got married, I had this bad habit of when I'm upset, I sulk. I'll just be quiet and just implode. I don't discuss it. If you ask me what's wrong, I'll say nothing. But I would just be carrying. I'll just be carrying on what we call in Nigeria carrying face. Just be carrying face. The person say what's wrong, you say nothing. Good morning. Do you want to eat? But you're not talking. You're just walking about with that attitude. So, first couple of months, I'm sure it was nothing. Because me too. It's not like I'm okay like that. It was nothing. It can't be anything serious. That's my point. Because I used to be very petty. So, any small thing would get me, because I'm also a perfectionist, so any small thing would get me upset. And we share these things honestly to show you that we're real people. So if you can do it, you can have a great marriage. Okay, if you obey God's principles, there's no superstar, there's no secret here, right? So I can't remember what he did, But I started doing that thing. I started sulking. So I'll just carry my face. You know, what will you eat? Your food is on the table. He will ask me what's wrong. I'll say nothing. Or do you think there's something wrong? He'll say, did something happen? No, did you do something? I was just doing all those kind of things. And his heart was free. He didn't even notice he did anything. But then I noticed something. In that period, I was carrying my face and frowning and doing all kinds of things. I noticed that he would wake up in the morning and he would be praying really loudly. He would pray very loud. He would be singing worship off key, but he would be singing it, really annoying. You almost like when somebody's doing it to annoy you. So the thing was really getting to me. So after a few days, I think it was like the third day, I couldn't take it anymore. And I went to meet him and I said, I feel like you're very wicked. And I was like, wicked? I said, yes. You offended me and you are praying and singing and shouting. Who is answering that prayer? Even the scripture is clear on how you deal with people when you've offended them. He opened his eyes. I've never seen him so shocked in his life. He looked at me and was like, is that what that was? He thought I was being sober and vigilant and meditating, and he was feeling challenged. So he said, I honestly thought you were, trying to study what and I was challenged that this girl cannot come to my house and now be oppressing me spiritually. I'm the spiritual head here. So that's why he was praying more and worshiping and oh my God. And so after we had that conversation, we both agreed, right? Be honest, I just came to the conclusion that men, they're not like that. Men, I'm telling you, if I always say now, men didn't that was the day I came to that conclusion. Then how can you not know that you've offended me? How can you think that I'm being sober and vigilant? How does that even add up? But honestly, you know what touched me was his sincerity. He was very sincere about it. That he was challenged. And he was like, this guy can't come to my house and be more spiritual than me. So he was praying more, praying louder, worshiping more. It was really very annoying. So we came to the conclusion that if there's a problem, you don't sulk, you talk. Because communication is the life of any relationship. So if something's upsetting you, open your mouth and just tell me. And especially women, I need to say this. I know there are some men, there are always exceptions to every rule, but women especially do this. We are very guilty of it. When you're upset with something and your husband says, what is it? Don't say nothing. Because when you say nothing, he believes you. He actually believes it's nothing and he moves on. But in the world of women, we know that nothing means ask me more. Try harder, press more so that you can find out what is really going on. But the average man, when you say nothing, he believes you and he moves on. So all those things you are doing, you come, you say nothing, but you bang the pot, you hit the table, and he's like, what is it? You say nothing. He will increase the volume of the TV because you're banging and everything is disturbing him. And you are angry because why are you doing that? You're not even paying attention. You just said nothing was wrong. Why are you disturbing someone who nothing is wrong with? So women, I always like to say this. We need to understand that men don't read minds. They read newspapers. So if you want something, open your mouth and say it. Even dropping hints does not work. If you want something on your birthday, 2 weeks before your birthday, you tell your husband, I really like this bag my friend is carrying. I would like one for my birthday. Now, in the world of women, we understand that when we say, oh, I love these shoes, your friend will just mark it and say, she likes that shoe. That means her next birthday, I'm going to buy it for her. You don't need to tell me more than that. But men are not like that. They are literal beings. So you say, I like this shoe. I want it for my birthday. Then you have to remind them. 1 week to your birthday, you come back again and say, remember those shoes? Honey, I still want them for my birthday this year. Because we say birthday, it can mean, men, am I helping? So you say, I did it for my birthday this year. A few days to your birthday, 3 days, send him a picture by WhatsApp and say, I'm expecting to receive this from you on my birthday this year. No, the day before, remind him that, honey, I know this year will be special because you got the bag I wanted for my birthday this year. Then when he brings it, he may not remember to wrap it because you did not tell him to wrap it. When he brings it, don't say you could not even wrap it. Don't be angry. Just collect it and say, oh my God, you shouldn't have. Oh. And you even took the stress off me. I don't have to even untie the wrappings. Thank you, baby. Yeah, you take it. Next year, you say that bag you bought for me last year, I want matching shoes wrapped. Do you understand? You have to educate. That's how you do it. Because men don't read minds, they read newspapers.
I hope you have been blessed by the teachings of the man of God, Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo and Mildred Okonkwo. Don't forget to subscribe, click on the notification, and also, once again, make sure you share to others for them to be blessed. And